Alright guys, welcome back to Underground Science, and in this video we'll be talking about one of the central nervous system glial cells called microglial cells. Alright, and these microglial cells are sort of like heroes, right? Because in our central nervous system, our microglial cells act as macrophages, and they help initiate our immune response and keep our central nervous system neurons healthy and away from pathogens or any kind of debris. All right, and they also take care of central nervous system cells that aren't working properly anymore. All right, so let's go and see the basic idea of a microglial cell. All right, so it turns out that first or initially, a microglial cell is pretty much just inactive, just chilling around, right, in our central nervous system. So let's say we're talking about the brain here. All right, our microglial cells are just chilling around as an inactive state. All right, so they're kind of resting. All right, and sorry about that. And they actually they have to become active. But how are they going to become active? What's the trigger? Well, it's any sort of disturbance, whether it being a virus or a bacteria, or even like some neuron that's not functioning properly, right? Any type of inflammation or disturbance, right? A disturbance is going to cause this microglial cell to become active. So any type of inflammation or disturbance. So if we have a microglial cell right here, right? From a microglial cell right here, and if you see some type of disturbance, some type of bacteria or inflammatory cytokines or any viruses or any damaged neurons, then we're going to actually see these microglial cells, right, become active. And so now they're ready to fight and ready to do their job. So now I'm just going to draw them more bigger and have more strength. All right, it's ready to, you know what. All right, so let's go and draw these microglial cells. And these microglial cells will then actually, like, let's say we have a virus right here. All right, let's say we have a virus right here. And let's say that this virus is coming in right in the central nervous system. Remember that these are glial cells of the central nervous system. This virus is coming here, but this microglial cell will try to release things like very toxic and cytotoxic chemicals like maybe peroxides, right? Peroxides or superoxides or hydroxyl groups or hydrogen peroxide. And notice that these chemicals right here are called reactive oxygen species. All right, so these are called reactive oxygen species. All right, and so our microglial cells will try to release these reactive oxygen species, like peroxides, superoxides, hydroxyl groups, hydrogen peroxides, right? And try to destroy this virus or bacteria or whatever disturbance or this bad neuronal cell, whatever disturbance or inflammation is there, the microglial cell will try to destroy it. And once it destroys it, let's say this not bacteria, we said it was a virus, right? Let's say once these reactive oxygen species, right, destroy the crap out of this virus, then let's say we have now this microglial cell. Let me go and draw a little bigger because we'll have to show something extra. A good draw is its 4 legs that are killing the crap out of the virus. And now let's say that it broke it down into just pieces. All right, so there's just a bunch of small fragments of the virus. Okay, sweet, that's done. The virus is broken down, right? But now it does an extra step. Remember that the microglial cell acts as a macrophage. We'll go over we'll go over the immune system in a future playlist. But for now, just know that a macrophage is actually pretty cool. What it does is that it phagocytoses, all right? So it pretty much engulfs. It phagocytoses these fragments of the virus that it broke down. It eats these up, brings it back inside it, and it has lysozymes inside the macrophage or inside itself, right? So releases these lysozymes, which are pretty much just really cytotoxic enzymes that break the fragments down even further to smaller constituent proteins. And then, let's say we have smaller fragments of the virus, then these microglial cells have many MHC2 complexes on them. All right, and these MHC2 complexes, let me just go and label this. Its full form is pretty long, so let me just go and write it down. It's called the major histocompatibility complex type 2. All right, so that's why we just say MHC2 to save us some time. All right, so this is also just an MHC. What type? 2. All right, so remember type 2, you can just tell, okay, it's probably on a white blood cell then. There's another type of major histocompatibility complex, which we'll go over in the immune system, but for now, just know that there's an MHC2 complex, just proteins that are present on the microglial cells, right, or macrophages. And once they break this virus down to even more constituent proteins, they're going to take this part of the virus as an antigen and present it on its cell as an antigen presenting cell. So macrophages or these microglial cells are antigen presenting cells because they're presenting the antigen on its cell, on its MHC2 complex. Now, what does this do? It attracts more T lymphocytes. There's these white blood cells called T cells, in particular T lymphocytes, that come here, right? These T cells come here and they go and bind on here, all right? Pretty much they bind here and increase inflammation. They increase inflammation, and this increase in inflammation causes more white blood cells to come and help this area and to destroy the virus, right? Any more viruses that are here. And by this, like in the immune system, you'll see T cells will increase inflammation, right, which will cause like more B cells to become plasma cells and effector cells and all those good stuff, right? Memory B cells. And we're going to see that T cells are actually one of the main components in increasing inflammation, and that's actually going to trigger the B cells to make antibodies, all right, against whatever pathogen we're trying to fight. Okay, so that's pretty much the immune system. So we'll go into it later, but this is what the basic job of a microglial cell is to be a beast. All right, it's a macrophage, it acts as a macrophage, and as we can see, it engulfs first it beats the crap out of the virus. All right, it just straight up doesn't even care. It just releases all these reactive oxygen species like peroxides, superoxides, hydroxyl groups, and hydrogen peroxides, right? Then it breaks the crap out of this virus into smaller constituent proteins. Then it takes these proteins and it phagocytoses these proteins through endocytosis. Then it breaks the crap out of those proteins into smaller protein antigens, takes those antigens, presents it on its cell in the MHC2 that attracts T cells to it to make to bind and make increased inflammation. And we'll see that most of the time the T cells and B cells reside in our lymph nodes. So most of the time these macrophages will carry these most of the time macrophages in the immune system carry their antigen presenting cell to the lymph nodes, and then most of the immune system activity works there. But we also see and then once the B cells actually make the antibodies can get pumped into circulation via the heart, and then we have antibodies in our plasma also to help go to that area of infection. All right, so that's pretty much the job of a microglial cell. I hope this video made sense to you guys. I really hope to see you guys in my future videos where I'll talk about more cool topics about biochem, and physics and chem. And so see you guys later. Make sure to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and stay safe.